be screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to Cypherfics. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the 12th part of, What If Danny Phantom Meets Hazbin Hotel. Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of Phantom Fan 21 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Danny emerged from the bathroom in his pajamas, apple-themed slippers, courtesy of Lucifer, on his feet. Entering the living room, he found his friends similarly attired in their nightwear. Charlie's hair was loose, framing her face, and Emily's white gown seemed to enhance her beauty beyond what Danny had imagined. Easy, Fenton. Keep your crush in check. You're not Dash, he reminded himself. He approached them, and Charlie and Emily smiled in response. Hey, Danny. Nice PJs, Charlie remarked. Thanks. Yours are nice too, Charlie, Danny replied, then turned to Emily. You look really pretty in yours, Emily, he blurted out, then quickly covered his mouth with his hand. DMN. I didn't mean to say that. Danny chastised himself internally. Emily's cheeks turned pink as Charlie grinned. And what about me? She inquired, feigning offense. Danny glanced at Charlie, then voiced his thoughts. It suits you. I think it makes you look adorable, he remarked, then immediately brought his hand to his face in dismay. Darn it, he mentally chastised himself, groaning inwardly. Charlie laughs while Emily shakes her head, still smiling. Come on, Charlie. Let's not give Danny any reason to embarrass himself, even if he is around two cute girls, she said. I thought boys dreamed of being surrounded by cute girls, Charlie teased. Well, he's having a sleepover with two, Emily chimed in. Danny's blush deepened, prompting giggles from Charlie and Emily, who knew exactly how he reacted to their teasing. Take it easy, Danny. We're just joking around, Charlie said with a smile. Yeah, we're just having a bit of fun, Emily added, eliciting a sigh from Danny. I know, but I really wish I could control my thoughts and actions better when I'm around cute girls, Danny admitted, sighing again. They quickly settled on the floor, with Charlie presenting a list of her plans while welcoming her friend's suggestions. The sleepover was already shaping up nicely. Meanwhile, Sam arrived at the gates, pondering her next move. Am I truly this desperate? She murmured with a sigh. She was aware that the Morningstar mansion was the most challenging to infiltrate among all the residences in Amity Park, boasting even tighter security than her own family's mansion. Taking a deep breath, Sam extended her hand towards the gate when suddenly a voice interrupted. Well, what do we have here? Startled, Sam turned around. She hadn't noticed the peculiar man with the unsettling smile approaching her until his hand landed on her shoulder. What brings a young lady like yourself out at this late hour? He asked, prompting Sam to turn toward him. Who are you? She inquired. Just a man enjoying a nocturnal stroll. But if you wish to address me by a name, you may call me Alastor, he replied, his smile unwavering. Sam blinked, the name Alastor striking a chord of familiarity. Observing his attire, she arched an eyebrow. Aren't you a bit out of fashion? We're not in the 40s or 50s anymore, she remarked. I am quite aware, my dear. It's just that I have a fondness for these clothes. They evoke pleasant memories, Alastor responded, wearing his nostalgia with pride. Okay? Sam inquired, her confusion evident. She shook her head, voicing the sudden question that had arisen in her mind. What are you doing out here? She asked. I was on the verge of asking you the same thing, my dear, Alastor replied, eliciting a sigh from her. All right. I found out that a boy I know is having a sleepover with two girls who, I believe, aren't right for him. I want to check on him, but... Sam trailed off. The mansion is renowned for its security, which prevents even a mouse from sneaking in, Alastor concluded for her. How do you know that? Sam asked. The Morningstars are a family that even I wouldn't dare to cross. Breaking in is much worse than breaking out. And given your hesitation, the boy you're talking about has no idea you're here, does he? Alastor inquired. Sam was taken aback by his awareness of her attempt to sneak in. She glared at Alastor, who simply continued to smile. Listen, those girls may not be what I expected, but they're disrupting the established balance. They're wealthy, and he's not. I'm intervening because he should be with people who are like him, Sam asserted. Oh. Should he? Even after his life was saved by them? Even as you did nothing? Alastor inquired, causing Sam to flinch. Sam began, then noticed the man's shadow. Red eyes glowed from the shadow, which seemed to morph into a monstrous deer in Sam's eyes. She couldn't suppress the trembling of her body as she gazed upon it. Come, my dear. We should get you home. Your parents would likely disapprove of your late-night escapades, Alastor remarked, escorting the dazed goth girl away. Sam remained silent. The shadow she had witnessed left her petrified. With the three. Charlie glanced up, feeling a presence near the mansion's front gates, catching her friend's attention. Charlie. Are you all right? Danny inquired, concern evident in his voice. I believe so. I felt something outside, she replied, uncertain. Could it be a ghost? Emily questioned. No, my ghost sense didn't trigger, Danny responded, shaking his head. I'll call my dad, he might have an idea, Charlie decided, moving toward the phone. She hastily phoned him to share her uneasy feeling. Lucifer responded promptly, assuring her he hadn't found anything but would remain vigilant. Grateful, Charlie expressed her thanks and rejoined her friends. Charlie? They inquired, noting her concern. She dismissed it with a shake of her head. This was a sleepover, it was no time for fretting over what might lurk at the gates, especially since there had never been a breach before. Okay. For our first activity, I was thinking we could watch some cartoons. I hope you guys don't mind watching my favorite episode first. I really enjoy it and want you all to see it, she said, refocusing on the plan. Danny and Emily exchanged glances before nodding in agreement. They decided that whatever was bothering them could wait. It was time to have some fun. 20 minutes later. After watching cartoons, the three of them headed into the kitchen, getting ready to make something quick and easy. Charlie already called her father to inform him about what they were about to do, and Lucifer permitted them, stating he would be down later to check on them. After some consideration, they opted for classic s'mores. I love s'mores, Charlie said with a smile. It's because they leave you wanting s'more, right? Danny quipped. The girls giggled, understanding the pun. Absolutely, Emily agreed, popping a marshmallow into her mouth. Save some for us, Emily. We don't need a marshmallow that's also a fluffy angel, Charlie chided playfully. Emily rolled her eyes with a smile. Danny checked the oven and saw the s'mores were baking nicely. Something smells delightful, Lucifer remarked as he entered the kitchen. We're just making some s'mores, Dad. Charlie responded. S'mores? Lucifer exclaimed, hurrying over to the oven. He inhaled deeply and let out a heavenly sigh. Ah, that aroma is wonderful. I adore s'mores almost as much as apples, he said with a smile. And don't worry, Mr. Morningstar. We made sure to follow all the oven safety rules, Emily assured him. It's important to have an adult present for something like this. However, we were careful to avoid any mishaps, Danny chimed in. Charlie donned some mitts before carefully removing the tray. The aroma of s'mores filled the air as everyone prepared to indulge. They savored the treats, accompanied by milk to wash them down. Danny got melted marshmallows on his chin and quipped about his beard growing in, prompting laughter from everyone as he cleaned his face. Afterward, Lucifer retreated to his room, taking a few extra s'mores with him. The trio then returned to the living room, gearing up for their next activity. Cartoons, check. S'mores, check, Charlie said, ticking off her list. Ensuring everyone's having fun. Check, Danny quipped. It sounds like you're really enjoying yourself, Daniel, Emily remarked. I am. I'll confess, I had my concerns initially. Apart from Vaggie finding out from someone else, I was anxious about what you girls might plan, Danny confessed. I've got a few activities in mind for Emily and me, but I don't want to exclude you. That said, I wouldn't want to pressure you into joining if you'd rather not, Charlie explained. It's okay, Charlie. I appreciate you considering me, Danny says with a smile. Just remember the most crucial element of a sleepover, Charlie, Emily interjects. Which is? Charlie inquires. Sleeping. Emily chuckles, causing her friends to burst into laughter. Indeed, it's right there in the name, Danny remarks. Their laughter continues as they prepare for their next activity. The next morning. Following several rounds of video games, Charlie let Emily style her hair while she applied makeup to Emily's face. They also teased Danny once more about their appearance, causing him to blush at the words he uttered aloud. Subsequently, they all fell asleep. Charlie was dozing on the couch while Danny and Emily were resting on air mattresses provided by Lucifer. The aroma of pancakes eventually awakened Charlie, prompting a yawn and the rubbing of sleep from her eyes. She walked into the kitchen to find her father flipping pancakes, donning an apron emblazoned with "Hell's Best Cook." "Morning, apple pie," said Lucifer with a smile. "Good morning, Dad," yawned Charlie. "Did you three have fun last night?" "I had to clean Emily's face and take out your hair accessories when I came downstairs," he observed, looking at his daughter's tousled hair. "Yeah, it was a blast. And before you ask, no, we didn't do anything you'd approve of," Charlie said, yawning again. "Good. No children until you're married," Lucifer said, smirking. "Dad." Charlie groaned, thinking it was too early for that conversation. "Breakfast is almost ready. Go wash up, I'll get your friends," Lucifer instructed, prompting a nod from her. "Thanks, Dad," she said, kissing his cheek. Charlie was happy she could have a sleepover with her friends. Maybe next time, she'll invite Vaggie. Danny, Charlie, and Emily entered the Carefree Cafe, chuckling over Danny's tale of Dash's community service efforts. You girls should have seen Dash. It took him 5 minutes to pick up one can, while I collected over 100 in the same time, Danny chuckled. For someone who claims to be strong, he sure is weak when it comes to lifting a single can, Emily giggled. Serves him right, Charlie added with a smile. Seated at their table, they continued to laugh over Danny's stories. Nearby, Helsa observed them with a growl. She couldn't grasp the closeness between them. She knew the story of Charlie saving Danny's life and how they supported him when he returned the stolen items. Yet, she despised it. But why? What made her hate Danny's presence around Charlie so much? She watched as Charlie rose to fetch their food, attempting to prevent the owner from banning Danny once more. Helsa was in a quandary. She was determined to retaliate against Charlie, and that boy was crucial to her scheme. Yet, she pondered why it troubled her so. She had no longing to mirror her father. She was more than just the progeny of envy's sin. She cast a glance backward before devising a plan. Charlie returned with their food and sighed. He's still trying to ban Danny, she said, setting the food down. We even told him Danny left money on the counter before he left, Emily groaned. Something tells me he won't stop until I leave for good, Danny said, sighing. That's it. We warned him. I'm calling my dad, Charlie declared, pulling out her phone. And Sarah, Emily added, taking out her phone. Danny smiled as he watched the girls call their family members. He then sighed, knowing it would take a while. Suddenly, he felt arms drape over his shoulders, accompanied by a voice dripping with flirtation. "Hello, handsome." Danny turned and saw Helsa smiling at him. "Can I help you?" he asked. Helsa moved closer, her cheek brushing against his. "Just wondering if you'd like to spend time with me." "You seem to enjoy the company of rich girls," Helsa said loudly enough for Charlie to hear. "Helsa, I'm not with them because they're wealthy." Danny started to explain. "I know. They saved your life. That story is famous around town," Helsa remarked, still smiling. "It's because Sam kept trying to drive us apart," Charlie interjected, ending the call. "And she thinks we should only associate with the affluent while Daniel should stick with outcasts like himself," Emily chimed in, also disconnecting. "Seriously?" Helsa exclaimed, astonished. "How F up is she in the head?" She wondered silently. "So, care to explain why you're wrapping your arms around our friend?" Charlie asked, glaring. Helsa looked down before she smiled. "Good," she noticed, she thought before continuing her plan. "Just wondering how a man like him would react to a girl's arms around him," she said, smirking. "I'll have you know that both Emily and I have done that before." Charlie retorted, still glaring. "So, you've slept with him?" Helsa inquired, noticing Charlie's blush. "Not like that." Charlie screamed, embarrassed. "We've passed out and slept near each other, but we've never shared a bed," Emily clarified, understanding what Helsa was implying. "Helsa, please remove your arms from him," Charlie said, trying to suppress her blush. "How about no?" Helsa smirked, planting a kiss on Danny's cheek. Danny was taken aback by the kiss, while Charlie was fuming. She sensed Helsa was plotting something, and Emily had to ensure Charlie didn't react in a way that would be detrimental to all. "Helsa, you're aware that you're violating his personal space, aren't you?" "It's unwise," Emily interjected. Helsa rolled her eyes and edged even closer to Danny. "Oh, I'm aware," she smirked, inching even closer. Danny's cheeks flushed a deeper shade, his mind racing with the thought of her lips on his. Overwhelmed, he swiftly ducked under the table and re-emerged between Charlie and Emily. Helsa looked on, taken aback by his quick escape from her grasp. "Look, Helsa, you're a sweet girl, but I barely know you," Danny explained. "It's tough enough getting people to believe I worked part-time for Verosika Mayday, let alone that she kissed me. I'm just not the kind of guy to toy with someone's emotions. If you're interested in friendship, we should start slow and you'll need to let go of any hard feelings towards Charlie," he suggested. "Hold on, did you just mention Verosika Mayday? She was actually here?" Helsa asked, astonished. "Yes, months ago," Charlie replied, shooting Danny a glare. "Charlie." Danny groaned, aware that she was still fixated on that kiss. "How on the actual earth did you manage to get a kiss from Verosika Mayday?" Helsa exclaimed. "I had been dared to kiss someone, and she overheard and volunteered. There was no one else around, and I certainly wasn't going to kiss my best friends," Danny explained, sighing deeply. Helsa was in disbelief. First Charlie, and now Verosika Mayday. Who was this boy? Her shock quickly faded, replaced by a smile. "Well, you're certainly more interesting than I initially thought," she remarked, pulling out a piece of paper. "Here you go, big boy," she said, handing it to him. Danny accepted it, puzzled, until he noticed the number. "Wait, are you giving me your number?" Danny inquired, surprising Charlie. "Indeed. If you've managed to impress a pop star and 2 other girls," Helsa began, smirking at them, "then it's undeniable that you'll charm many more." She then playfully tapped his nose. "See you around, cutie," she winked before walking away. Danny stood there, blinking as she departed. He glanced at the number, then back at his friends. What just happened? He asked, utterly baffled. Charlie and Emily stood in Danny's room, keeping their distance as they donned face masks. They had come to visit and found out he was ill. Emily produced some face masks she had brought, and the two girls proceeded to check on Danny. Achoo! Danny sneezed. God bless you, Emily said, prompting Danny to sniffle. You girls didn't have to come, Danny remarked, yet his tone betrayed his gratitude. Are you kidding? You were there for us when we were sick, it's only right we come to see how you're doing, Charlie responded, her smile hidden beneath her mask. A brief chuckle passed between them before Danny reached for a tissue. You know what's funny? Remember the swap meet last year? Charlie inquired, drawing everyone's attention. What about it? Danny asked, sniffling again. Remember how almost everyone got sick and we had to deal with Desiree? Charlie reminded them. The memory dawned on Danny and Emily, recalling the peculiar days. How could we forget? Danny mused, reminiscing about the swap meet. 1 year earlier. Danny, Charlie, Emily, and Vaggie were strolling through the swap meet, each on the lookout for a good find. Danny's eyes caught some skateboard wheels, which he promptly picked up. Why did you buy those? You don't even own a skateboard, Emily questioned. I made a promise to Charlie to get her one. Now that I've got the wheels, I just need the board, Danny replied with a smirk, prompting Emily to shake her head in disbelief. Thanks, Danny. I'm excited to go for a ride, exclaimed Charlie, causing Vaggie to express concern. Charlie, are you certain about this? Vaggie inquired, fearing for her safety. No need to worry, Vaggie. We've got the helmet and the pads for knees and elbows, Charlie reassured her with a smile. I share Vaggie's concerns, Emily chimed in, echoing the apprehension. Oh, lighten up. Where's your sense of adventure? Danny teased with a smirk. Exactly. Nothing's going to happen if you don't take a chance. Charlie added, matching Danny's smirk. Let's keep looking, Charlie. We're bound to find a board without wheels, Danny encouraged, and with a nod from Charlie, they dashed off, leaving Emily and Vaggie to sigh in resignation. I still think it's a bad idea. Emily exclaimed, sighing heavily. Let's go, Vaggie suggested, hoping to dissuade them from their plan. They noticed Danny and Charlie pausing at a different stall, with Charlie examining a bottle. A genie in a bottle? I don't think so. No, thank you, Charlie remarked, setting it down with a shake of her head. Aren't those just tales? Inquired Emily. Yes. Why wish for anything when you have everything? Vaggie posed the question. Well, the saying, be careful what you wish for, does come to mind, Danny commented, prompting nods from everyone. As they departed, a mother and her daughter passed by, and the girl's eyes caught sight of some cotton candy, prompting her to whine. Please, Mommy. Can I have some cotton candy? Please. She pleaded, causing her mother to glance back. I think you've had plenty of sugar for today, her mother replied, aware of her excessive sweet consumption. I want it. I want it. The girl persisted, tugging at her balloon, which snagged on the bottle Charlie was once holding. The bottle was yanked from its spot and shattered upon the ground. Your heart's longing shall be fulfilled, declared the genie, soaring into the sky. As Danny and Charlie searched for a board, Danny's ghost sense was triggered, alerting Charlie as well. They cautiously surveyed the area until they spotted a tall, stunning ghost with green skin and an hourglass figure. She had red eyes and long, thick black hair that was slightly unkempt at the ends, complemented by plum lipstick. Instead of legs, she floated on a wispy blue tail. Her attire resembled Arabian fashion, adorned with accessories including a blue beaded headband, a large metallic grayish-purple choker with oval pendants, and matching metallic cuffs on her wrists and biceps. She wore 3 blue bangle bracelets on her wrists, 2 on the right and 1 on the left, which coordinated with her blue tube top edged with grayish-purple trim. A large metallic, grayish-purple belt with a central blue jewel cascaded over her tail. She inadvertently caused the cotton candy machine to overload, creating a massive wave that began to flood the swap meet. The young girl caught sight of it and her face lit up with excitement. Cotton can. Her voice was lost in the wave's roar. Danny and Charlie exchanged a glance and nodded. After signaling Emily, Charlie feigned shock. "Oh no! Those poor people!" she exclaimed, bringing a hand to her mouth. "We better make sure no one is hurt," added Emily, continuing the act. "Vaggie, could you see if you can call for some help? We're going to make sure no one gets a sugar rush," Danny said, catching her off guard. Sure, but..." she began, only to be interrupted by Charlie's kiss. "You're the best, Han," she exclaimed, and then they dashed away. Once they confirmed they were alone, they exchanged a knowing look and nodded. Transforming into their heroic alter egos, Emily lifted Charlie and soared towards the ghost, who was grinning at her handiwork. She then notices the three before bowing a bit. "I am Desiree. What is your wish?" she said, then inquired. "A wish?" Charlie responded, taken aback. "Is she a genie?" Emily questioned, equally astonished. "It's none of your business, Candy Pants," Danny retorted, careful not to express any wishes. "There must be something you longing." Desiree persisted, stroking his chest, which made him uneasy. "Hey! Get away from him!" Emily said, kicking her back. "What the heck, lady? He's just a kid, show some restraint." Charlie added, also upset. "That was totally inappropriate. You're a woman for Pete's sake." Emily shouted. "Oh. Are you two perhaps taken by this boy? If you so longing I can bring you all so much closer." Desiree asked before offering. "I don't." "Wait. You what?" Charlie started before looking at her in shock. "Or perhaps I can give you more than a simple man offer," Desiree said, floating towards Emily, sliding her finger under Emily's chin and giving Emily a sultry look. I. Emily stammered, her cheeks turning a deep shade of red. A gorgeous woman was offering herself to her. Wow, this was a first for her. Danny, on the other hand, didn't like how this woman was flirting with his friends. "Gack off, you hussy," he said, blasting Desiree. Danny blinked. He blasted Desiree. He stared at his hand in surprise. "Danny?" Charlie inquired, equally astonished. "Was that a new ghost power?" Emily questioned. "I think so," Danny replied, uncertain. "Wow, that's cool," Charlie exclaimed, unaware that she would later forget about this power. Present day. Achoo! Danny sneezed, jolting everyone back to reality. "Bless you," Charlie offered, passing him a tissue. "I'm convinced Desiree was flirting with us," Danny remarked, clearing his nose. "Tell me about it." "She was attractive, but I'm content with Vaggie, thank you very much," Charlie responded, having moved past the incident. "It's a pity we forgot the Fenton thermos. If we had anticipated the trouble she'd cause, we could have captured her then and there," Emily lamented. "And that trouble began at the football game," added Charlie, with a sigh. 1 year earlier. Emily positioned herself in the crowd, deliberately distancing herself from Sam. She was astonished that Sam would attend a game while ill. "I'm as sick as a dog and detest sports. Why am I even here?" Sam inquired, sneezing again. "Because Danny's here, and he's snagged the prime spot," Tucker said with a smirk. Emily's frown deepened, she knew exactly what he meant. Her gaze shifted to the field where Casper High's mascot burst forth, energetically jumping about. "And now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting your very own Casper High Ravens." The football team stampeded past the mascot, causing the beak to fall off and reveal Danny inside. Being the mascot will be a blast. You'll get to meet cheerleaders, they had said. Danny groaned internally, questioning his decision. At least you'll meet one. Looking up, he saw Charlie in a cheerleader's uniform, filling in for Paulina, who was out sick. The sight of his friend caused Danny's cheeks to warm with a blush. Charlie grinned as she assisted him to stand. Sam attempted to scowl at her through her discomfort, but illness overwhelmed her. The match commenced, and Casper High was trailing significantly. This is pathetic. Our team is disintegrating, Tucker said with a sigh. Me too. I'm done here. See you later, Sam interjected before leaving. Tucker. Next time, don't invite someone who's sick to a game. Are you trying to infect us all? Emily snapped, fixing him with a glare. I just wanted to show Danny some support. Tucker began. Tucker, you're aware that Sam isn't Danny's friend. She's not even our friend. We tolerate you because you're miles better than Sam. You might flirt with every girl in school, but keep the sick ones out of this, especially Sam. Emily continued, her glare unwavering. Below, Charlie gave Danny a water bottle to cool off after preventing some jocks from dousing him with a cooler. At the same time, Dash had just completed his next play and groaned. Man, I wish I could become the kind of monster who could take these guys down single-handedly, he said before the huddle dispersed. Unbeknownst to him, Darcy was nearby and overheard his wish. She fulfilled it, causing Danny's ghost sense to trigger. As Dash prepared for the next play, he began to transform into a monster, taking on the play solo. After witnessing Dash's transformation, Danny, Charlie, and Emily gather together. Is that Dash? Emily inquired. A beast? Charlie also questioned. And he's becoming even more beastly, Danny remarked, concerned. They observed as Dash slammed the football to the ground, creating cracks, prompting a look of concern from the trio. I believe he's utilizing ghost power, Danny remarked, aware that they needed to intervene. We need to act quickly, exclaimed Charlie, with Emily nodding in concurrence. Present day. They were jolted from their reverie by another knock on the door. Charlie, Emily. Are you guys still there? Came Jazz's voice. Yes, replied Charlie. Don't worry, we're wearing face masks and keeping our distance from him, Emily chimed in. Mom and Dad asked me to bring up some soup for him. Jazz began. Pass it here, Jazz, Charlie interjected, opening the door. Jazz blinked in surprise. Are you sure? She inquired. Yeah, he looked after us when we were ill. It's only right that we do the same, Charlie asserted. Besides, you're not wearing a mask, and we don't want you catching anything either, Emily pointed out. Jazz sighed, comprehending their words. She handed the soup to Charlie and nodded in appreciation. Make sure he takes his medicine, she reminded them, receiving another nod in response. After Jazz departed, Charlie approached Danny. How about letting Nurse Morningstar look after you, Dr. Fenton? Charlie teased with a smirk. Danny chuckled while Emily came over, handing Charlie a pair of gloves. After consuming some soup, Danny decided to take a brief nap while Charlie and Emily discussed several topics of interest. Shortly after, Danny awoke with a groan. I hate being sick, he groaned, prompting a smile from Charlie and Emily. We're with you on that, Danny, Charlie said with a smile. Just like when Dash turned into that monster, Emily chimed in. Oh, right, Jazz kind of put a stop to that, didn't she? Danny remarked, sniffling. She's a good sister, Danny. I wish I had one, Emily confessed. I thought Charlie was your sister. Danny quipped, which led to a bout of coughing as he chuckled. Charlie and Emily chuckled, fully cognizant of what others presumed about the two of them being real sisters. They then reflected on Dash and how their day became increasingly bizarre. 1 year earlier. After Tucker and Vaggie took over for Danny and Charlie, they ascended towards Dash, cloaked in invisibility. Danny recoiled, unsettled by the sensation he experienced. "Whoa," Danny said, making sure he still had his grip on Emily to keep her and Charlie invisible. "Yikes, the ghost energy's pretty strong," Charlie said, sensing it. "But hopefully, ripe for the picking," Emily added, making Danny nod. 15. 25. 3-2. Dash said as Danny reached into Dash. He extracted the ghost, restoring Dash to his normal state. Dash, clueless about the recent events, shouted "hike" and was promptly tackled once more. Danny led everyone behind the bleachers and opened the Fenton thermos, while Charlie and Emily stood by, prepared for what was to come. "Back to the ghost zone for you, pal," Danny said, sucking the ghost in. "That was way too easy," Charlie remarked, prompting Emily to nod in agreement. "At least we didn't have to worry about the game being ruined," Emily added, causing her friends to nod along. With that, they flew off, back to Fenton Works. Present. "I still can't believe the ghost actually resembled Dash," Emily exclaimed, shaking her head in disbelief. "I'm shocked that some of the football players made advances on Vaggie," Charlie remarked, growling. "Yet, you both managed to take photos of each other in cheerleading outfits," Emily said with a smirk. "And she's got it set as her wallpaper," Danny chimed in. Charlie blushed but swiftly regained composure. "Do you guys recall that device that nearly separated our powers?" Charlie inquired. Emily shuddered at the memory. "I'm relieved we steered clear of it. Witnessing my angelic form detached from me was unsettling," she remarked, wrapping her arms around herself. "Couldn't agree more," Charlie concurred. "Indeed, it was quite eerie back then," Danny affirmed with a nod. 1 year earlier. The Trinity materialized in the laboratory, scanning for any presence. They noticed an unusual dream catcher, then proceeded to dispatch the specter back into the ghost zone. Having completed their task, Danny and Emily began to ascend, passing through the dream catcher. Charlie gasped in awe at the sight before her. There lay Danny and Emily, in their human forms, on the ground. Yet, as she raised her eyes, she beheld their ethereal ghost and angel counterparts gazing down upon their earthly selves. "Who's that? Somebody out there?" Jack Fenton's voice resonated throughout the room as Danny's and Emily's spectral halves swiftly merged with their human forms, and Charlie reverted to her human self. This occurred just as Jack and Maddie stepped out of the tent they had been using. "Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Fenton," Charlie said, trying to act like they just came down. "Are we interrupting something?" Emily asked. "That I hope we're not," Danny threw in. "Your father and I are purifying ourselves of negative ghost energy," Maddie said, sniffing. "We're trying to richly expel any viral ghosts in our systems with the Fenton ghost catcher. It's like an Indian dream catcher, except it expunges ghosts and not dreams, you see," Jack explained after he sneezed. "Pretty sure a ritual doesn't work like that," Charlie muttered under her breath. "You might just have a cold, you know. It doesn't have to be a ghost cold," Danny tells them, trying to joke a little. "I remember when I was that naive," Jack said, walking away with Maddie. "It's not wrong to admit when you're wrong, you know," Emily shouted, shaking her head. "Come on, there's a cold going around town, and no ghost we've met could make people sick. Right, Danny?" Charlie said, looking to Danny for agreement. "Danny?" Charlie called out, just as she spotted Danny by the Fenton catcher. Danny slid his hand into it, watching in awe as his ghostly hand emerged from his human one. Startled, Danny quickly withdrew his hand. "Whoa! This one actually works, a little too well. I'm filing this under must avoid," Danny said, as his friends walked up to him. "Did you really put your hand through it?" Charlie asked, annoyed. "I needed to be certain," Danny said to her just before they observed Emily pass her hand through it. To her astonishment, a celestial hand emerged from her mortal one, retracting it while appearing quite frightened. Why does this affect me, though? I'm not a ghost, Emily inquired. No idea, Charlie. Danny asked before turning to her. Danny, remember I'm half demon. Your family's stuff doesn't affect me. See? Charlie replied, demonstrating by passing her hand through it. Danny and Emily both gasped. Following their gaze, Charlie turned to see her demonic hand emerging from her human form, startling her. Charlie swiftly withdrew her hand and stepped back from the Fenton catcher. Holy SHT. But how? I shouldn't be able, she tried to say as Danny and Emily tried to calm her down. Definitely file under, must avoid at all cost. She said, making her friends nod. Present. I still can't believe your parents' inventions work on us. Charlie exclaimed, his disbelief evident. It's a good thing we never told them. Who knows what they'd do if they discovered they could hunt angels and demons as well, Emily remarked with a sigh. Yeah, but it came in handy later, Danny noted, sniffing. Blow, Emily instructed, offering a tissue to Danny. He complied, nodding in gratitude as Emily disposed of the tissue. Well, do you remember what happened the next day with Paulina? Charlie asked. Ugh, how could I forget? I didn't even like that movie. Emily groaned. I'm just glad Vaggie was there with us, Charlie said, a hint of sadness in her voice. Danny and Emily understood what she was thinking and felt sympathy for her girlfriend as well. 1 year earlier. Charlie, Danny, and Emily reached the cinema, accompanied by Vaggie, who had consented to watch Dead Teacher, one of Danny's beloved movie series. I'm eager to see the new twists in this movie, Danny remarked with a smirk. I just hope they've reduced the gore, Emily commented, still queasy from their previous film. Don't worry, I'm prepared, Charlie interjected, brandishing a sick bag. Appreciate it, Charlie, Emily responded, accepting the bag. If you can't handle the gore, then why are you planning to watch Dead Teacher for? Vaggie inquired. I promised Danny I'd watch it with him. It's part of our spend a day with my friend day that we invented, Emily explained, shrugging. We even managed to find a board without wheels, Charlie added, smiling. I'm going to see if my dad can teach me how to ride a skateboard after Danny and I assemble it, she continued. I still don't like that, Charlie, Vaggie said, her worry evident. As the four of them made their way to the theater, they noticed a poster for another upcoming movie. Ugh, sayonara pussycat, Emily groaned, catching Vaggie off guard. What? Vaggie asked, puzzled. There's only so much cuteness I can handle before it makes me nauseous. It's even worse than watching Danny's Dead Teacher movie. Emily elaborated. Trust us, Vaggie, we've seen the trailer, Charlie said with a groan. It's a kids' movie aimed at teenagers. It's even worse than that show with the talking horses. Danny exclaimed. Hey! Don't dismiss that show, it taught good life lessons. Emily countered. Yeah, I like it too. Charlie chimed in, glaring at Danny. I'm not dismissing it. I'm just saying that it's better than Sayonara Pussycat, Danny argued, grabbing their snacks. Present day. You were dismissing it, Charlie and Emily said, glaring at their sick friend. Fine, I was dismissing it. But that was before you two explained the show better to me, Danny said, coughing. Charlie and Emily sighed, shaking their heads. They wished to stay longer, but the night was advancing, and their curfew loomed near. We need to head home, Danny, Charlie stated, prompting a nod from him. We'll come by tomorrow to check on you, Emily promised. Thanks, girls, Danny replied with a smile. Despite their longing to embrace him, they refrained. Danny was still ill, and they had to wait for his recovery before any contact. Descending the stairs, Charlie and Emily discarded their masks and gloves. I'm happy Danny's taken a liking to the show, Emily remarked. And that we mentioned it has male fans too, Charlie said with a giggle. Jazz adores the show, no matter her denials, Emily chuckled. Mr. Fenton even became a fan, added Charlie. New episode tonight. Should we record it to watch later with Danny and Vaggie when they're better? Emily suggested. Absolutely. Charlie responded, beaming. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for more crossovers. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Phantom Fan 21 on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.